I remember the morning of the pour, being on site from about 4, I think, and that feeling when the first truck came rumbling down the access road. And it was this feeling of something great is about to happen. We're not 100% sure if it's going to work, but we are going to, do it or die trying.
The project at Khutsong basically involves the relocation of a reservoir, which is just a fancy way of saying we're building a new reservoir.
We needed to cater for risk of sinkhole formation, and that design is particularly the design of the floor slab.
Our brief was essentially to build a reservoir that can withstand a sinkhole that's 5 meters in diameter.
We realized that reservoirs, if they are built the way they are being built, the traditional way of doing things, they will leak and sinkholes will form. It's inevitable. And that is why we then took an approach that we have to do something different.
We had a technical requirement that it needed to be one single floor.
So we had to think out of the box. We did something that has never been done on the African continent, as far as we know, or in South Africa before. And that's to do a post-tensioned floor for a post-tensioned reservoir.
When we're pulling the cables, actually for the floor, all the concrete within that floor needs to be homogeneous. It needs to be poured at the same time so that it's reaching the same strength. The timing of it was very critical. The logistics behind the pour were substantial. There's nothing you can do once you're actually in the pour. Then whatever plans you need to make are a little bit too late. So we had to really think it through thoroughly, think of everything that could go wrong and put in contingency plans for it.
It's not just putting down concrete, just think about that. It's actually, there's a lot to it.
We're quite exposed to the elements out there, so plastic shrinkage of our slab. So when the wind and the sun kind of start drying out the top layer, you get these cracks in the surface, the top surface, which is not great for water retaining structures. So, and on the day we actually poured, we had 4 seasons in one day. It started off very cold in the morning. By about 10 o'clock, we had a thunderstorm coming through. Then by midday, the wind was coming through and the sun was pumping. So wind and sun are not good for plastic shrinkage, but we had mist sprayers with a product called Profil 19, which actually forms a film over the top surface and stops the evaporation of the water out the top surface. So we actually look forward to the opportunity to be able to do something like this, because I think oftentimes when it comes to big pours, you look for reasons why you can make it smaller. Yeah, we had to do it big, and we had the opportunity to kind of put our money where our mouth was.
So our approach is going to be that if we can sell the idea of jointless floors, knowing that it might cost a bit more initially, the cost savings of water loss in a water scarce country is huge. It's huge. That's the one part of a reservoir that you never see again, is the underside of the floor. You see the walls, you see the roof, you see the inside, but you don't see the underside of the reservoir. So by doing a jointless floor, post-tensioned, with concrete to a high specification, you actually eliminate seepage, cracks, water loss through the floor.
So because we're doing a water retaining structure, we've kind of got 2 dogs pulling at the same rope. We've got the water retaining side, which is usually high cement content, and we've got the pre-stressing side, which is minimum shrinkage. So we had to find a very delicate balance.
Still, in a way, it makes me a little bit emotional to think of that moment of standing there and being being together, but being on the edge of something that we don't know.
Neil had a banner which he made up that said, "QuantiBuild, we've done it," and you kind of underestimate the effect that has on you, because you think, okay, it's a banner, it says we've done it. We haven't done it yet, we've still got a long way to go. But it was kind of like rolled down slowly from the top as well, and I think in that moment it was definitely a highlight.
At the end, when the last truck poured, it was a really fantastic experience.
That was like a dream come true. It's very difficult to explain that, but it was a life-defining moment to think that something so big, that we waited for so long, that I could never have envisioned, that I was allowed to be part of that. That was fantastic.
I try to visit site about once a month, and I just love it when you start driving there to the community and you see the progress that we've made.
We are at the footstep of the community. We're on their stoop, and they can see the progress, which has been great. Actually, it's made them part of the community or part of the project, and it's made them feel like this is our infrastructure.
The people have said for 4 years nothing was happening, and now they can see the progress.
One thing that really strikes me always is this dream that maybe there's a young person there in the community seeing this work being done, and hopefully, there's the birth of a dream in that child to say, one day I want to be an engineer.
We are Africans, we are true Africans, we are born in Africa, we're born in South Africa. We want to create solutions and bring water to the communities we serve.
The work we do is meaningful work. It's definitely the highlight. Is why I get out of bed every morning to come here.
The core of our existence, the core of our business must and will always be to build and create structures and systems that conserve and contain water in a dignified and honourable manner.